This is Chapter 7, Basic Concepts of Fitness. The importance and relationship between physical activity is very high. If we live a sedentary lifestyle, we have chronic disease. We have a greater risk of premature death, increased health care costs, and rates of overweight, obese children and youth. What is health-related fitness? It's fitness that helps prevent and disease and illness leading to a better quality of life. What is motor performance skill-related fitness? It is fitness needed to perform a particular skill in sports and work that requires physical skill, strength, and or endurance. So what is your definition of health? The traditional view was just simply absence of disease. The more contemporary view links health with wellness, which is multidimensional, which is emotional, intellectual, interpersonal, spiritual, social, and environmental. It's linked to several hypokinetic diseases. The definition of hypokinetic diseases are conditions related to obesity and other diseases like type 2 diabetes. The components are cardiovascular capacity, which is aerobic endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body composition. Core stability and flexibility keys are benefits of strength and conditioning. These are bone material density, or how thick the bones are in the body composition, that is muscle related to fat. Then we have muscular strength, glucose metabolism, which helps with not becoming a diabetic, serum lipids like cholesterol, good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, maximum oxygen consumption, and basal metabolism. Basal metabolism is how many calories you burn at rest. Health-related fitness benefits of moderate versus rigorous activities, developing and maintaining fitness. There is no off-season. You have to exercise every other day, every day. When you stop exercise, you stop getting the benefits of it. You can start deteriorating. Motor performance skill-related fitness components are agility, balance, coordination, power, reaction time, and speed. Motor performance require different activities. In gymnastics, you would train different than if you wanted to play football. You would train different from tennis to playing football and even golf. So these are your motor performance related fitness. It's based on whatever sport you're wanting to play. Cosmetic fitness is people different from the reason of desiring fitness. Cultural norms differ and change over time, can pose risk of eating disorders. Everyone wants to be thin. Everyone wants to have those six-pack abs. Cult of slenderness. Dose-response debate focus on the question, what dose of exercise is necessary to achieve the benefit of health? Exercise studies relationships of physical activity to all cases of mortality. The FIT formula is frequency of exercise, intensity of exercise, time spent exercising, and the type of exercise. Can be applied to all components of health fitness. The FIT formula is application difference based on a person's fitness goals, health status, and age. The USDHHS Physical Activity Guidelines for Children and Youth is the role of moderate to vigorous physical activity. The health status of a particular class within a nation is typically better than that of classes below it and worse than that of classes above it. Relative social and economic deprivation within societies accounts for better or poorer health. Traditional view of health is viewed as a responsibility of the individual. Social contents within that which people live their lives as partial explanation of their levels of health and fitness. If you live in an unsafe neighborhood, you're not going to go outside and jog 3 miles. If you live in an affluent, safe neighborhood, you're going to be able to do that. We had the model of health promotion, public policy, community policy, organizational, interpersonal, and individual. So it takes all of these to be successful. View fitness and health as both an individual and social issue. If you are working at a company and your company pays your insurance, if there are a lot of unhealthy people there, your insurance is going up. Increase access to safe, affordable, inclusive opportunities to pursue a physically active lifestyle for all. General training principles. We have the FIT formula. It should apply using the specificity, and that goes back to what sport are you going to play. If I'm going to be a golfer, I'm going to train different from being a football player. Progressive overload, meaning that I need to constantly overload, that my body gets used to a certain level of physical activity and it doesn't increase the fitness level. I constantly have to overload some component. And then important is recovery time. And this is one of the main reasons people who are really addicted to physical activity, they do not see an increase in fitness or strength, is because they do not allow recovery time, that one day that you take off. Health fitness training targets all fitness components: cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, flexibility. High-intensity activities are a turnoff for most people. You're not going to be able to get an obese little boy to go and run 2 or 3 miles. He will hate it and he will stop doing it. Continuous and interval training, there's a difference. Continuous training is exercise is sustained at just above a threshold for 30 minutes. Around 3 times per week for beginners. Interval is vigorous exercise bouts that are within rest periods. So you're going to go real high intensity, then you're going to back off and rest. High intensity, back off and rest. Anaerobic training is short durations of intervals without taxing the aerobic energy system. Those are your 50-yard dashes. Those are your 2-minute full-out dance numbers that you do. They can build muscle mass, bone density, and lower resting metabolic rate. It's an important way to train. I know we always stress aerobic training, but anaerobic is a very important training program. Main outcome, more quickly and to deliver great force. Strength training programs vary. Amount of resistance per lift, the number of reps per set, the number of sets per workout, the number of workouts per week. Strength training, muscular endurance, you have lower reps, lower resistance, higher number of reps. For muscular strength, you have higher resistance and lower number of reps. Flexibility, essential, but it's not something that a lot of people do. Static flexibility is range of motion limit around a joint. Dynamic flexibility is rate of increase in muscle tension as it is stretched. Recommendation 3 times per week after the main activity. So if you're going to do a flexibility exercise, do it after your workout. Considerable debates on the merits of different methods. What makes a fitness program effective, like for a soccer player, golf, or for you? It depends on the goal, the performance, the look, the health. Fitness gram and activity grams are really complete programs for formally assessing health-related fitness and physical activity. Fitness gram components: aerobic capacity, body composition, abdominal strength and endurance, upper strength and endurance, and flexibility. Methods of reporting test results. Norm reference scoring is scores reported relative to that of performance of larger groups of peers. You're comparing yourself with everybody else. Criteria reference scoring is the scores reported relative to a criteria. Let's say you want to be able to run a mile in so many minutes. That would be criteria scoring. Methods of reporting: we have zones of interpretation. Use fitness performance or physical activity data to understand whether you are at risk for hypokinetic disease at a level that will contribute to health. a level necessary for some athletic performances. Measure moderate to vigorous physical activity through a heart monitor, a pedometer, activitygram, estimate caloric expenditure. Pedometer is really a quick, inexpensive way to measure moderate to vigorous activity. Acceptable reasons for fitness testing in school is the fundamental part of fitness instruction, should be used to assess the quality of fitness instruction and learning. All students should be able to meet health-related fitness standards, regardless of their age. Informal measurements: take heart rate during exercise, after exercise to determine recovery, keep track of distance and time for the same kind of exercise. This is the end of Chapter 7.